Hey everyone, it's Dale Martin here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about creating flipped professional development using Google Sites. And we have a digital learning module outline that we use. It has about 4 or 5 components, and it's really good for content specialists to use with teachers, or teachers could even use it with students. And we're going to flesh out what that looks like. It's about 5 different pages, and I'm going to show you how to house that in Google Sites. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our apps launcher, and we're going to look for Google Sites, and it usually comes up right here. If not, you may have to select more and look for it, and we're going to click on Sites. It takes a couple seconds to come up. Now your Google Sites may not look exactly like this on the first page. If you've never created a website before, it'll usually give you a message, so you're thinking about creating a website. If you have played with Google Sites and created a few pages, then all the pages that people have shared with you or your pages are just going to show up here. So you just kind of a warning there, it might not look exactly like this. So you're going to click Create. And I tell folks that when you're new to Google Sites, it's a lot easier if you just leave it as this blank template here. There are some wonderful templates in the gallery, and I encourage you to go take a look at that. But it's a whole lot easier using a blank template the first time, and you just build what you want. Now we're going to name our site. So for our purposes today, we're going to call this site, since it is the distance learning module, we're just going to call it DL module. Now when you're creating a site, keep in mind that as you type in the name, it's creating the URL for you. You can go back and change the name here, but you cannot change this URL. So even if I go back and change this URL is going to stay the same. And that's sometimes that's hard for folks to grasp. URLs can only use letters A through Z and zeros through 9, so no punctuation or special characters or anything like that. If you decide you want to delete a website that you've created and then you go back immediately and try to rename it the same name, that usually won't work. It takes about 24 hours before Google pushes out that old website. It'll tell you that that site already exists. So if you come back in 24 to 48 hours, you can usually use the same name again if you've deleted it. So just keep that in mind. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to select a theme, and we get all these options here. Theme is different from templates. So theme is just about color and background, and so I always encourage folks to pick something with lots of contrast and hopefully not too dark or too busy of a background. So maybe let's try this one here. And then we click more options, and we get site categories and site descriptions. Both of these are optional. Site categories is just a list of tags that you can include to help people find your website. It's really not important because most of the time you're going to drive folks to your website by giving them a link. And the description, if you want to add a little mini description there, you can certainly do that. But again, it's also optional. So once again, we're going to click the Create button. Sometimes this takes a few moments. So we have our DL module, or distance learning module, and this is actually the edit page. There's only 2 buttons that you really have to know to create a website. There's the edit button, and there's the create a new page button. Our settings button, or our gear over here, certainly gives us gives us access to lots of different things, but you can kind of learn those as you go, and they're usually pretty self-explanatory. The one thing as you become an advanced user, you will use the edit site layout and the manage site quite regularly. This section right here seems to be kind of an intermediate level of websites. Okay. So let's take a look at edit page, because we can't do anything here. You notice we click, we can go back to, this takes us right back to this site, but we can't really do anything. So when we click edit, the editor will pop up, and now it kind of has a familiar feel to it. Looks like something that we've seen before, maybe in our Google Drive, or it looks like Docs, or maybe it looks like Word. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this home here, and I'm going to change home to introduction. All right, and that just happens to be one of our 5 pages of our distance learning module. I'm going to click save. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click create page. And the next one is going to be explore. I still want it to be a web page, so I'm not going to change this. It's always convenient if we leave it at the top level. I'll show you what that looks like, or what that refers to here in a second. We're just going to click create. And you'll notice that what we have now is we have two pages. We have the introduction page, and we now have the explore page. Okay, so I'm always going back to that top page, and I'm going to click create. And our third segment happens to be apply. So I'm going to leave it as a web page, and I'm going to click create. Now something happened here. I wanted apply under explore because that's the way our document is set up. But what Google is doing is it puts things in alphabetical order. It put introduction on top because it was the first page, but then everything underneath of introduction is going to be in alphabetical order. And because A comes before E, you see it has apply on top. So I'm going to go back to that top page. I'll show you how to fix that in just a second. So we're going to go back to that top page, and we're going to add another one. This time it's going to be reflect. Click create. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added all of our pages here, but you notice that they've gone in alphabetically and they're a little out of order for our purposes. So this is an advanced feature, but I'm going to show you how to fix that. You're going to come over here to that settings button that I was telling you about. You're going to click on edit site layout, and then we're going to come over here and just click on navigation, and that's going to pop up a window. And what Google is trying to do is automatically organize the navigation. We want to turn that off. That opens up another window that says, okay, if you don't want Google to do it, then do it yourself. So here you're going to click add page, and basically you're going to highlight the page, and you're going to click OK. So we want introduction to be first, so I'm going to say OK, and see we've put introduction on top. Now we want explore to be next, so I'm going to click add page, I'm going to click on explore, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click add page, and I want apply to be third, so I click on apply, OK, and then I'm going to click add page, and we're going to go with reflect, and OK, and then finally extend. Add page, extend. We're okay with that. We like the way this looks. If we needed to move them, we could. If we needed to erase or delete one, we could. So now we're going to click OK. Should make our changes. We're going to click close. Aha, we have introduction on there twice. So we're going to fix that using that little trash can. Navigation. I'm going to click on this one, put it in the trash, click OK, click Close, and so now we have our 5 pages that we need to have. We happen to be on Extend, so if I click on Reflect, Apply, Explore, and Introduction, we actually have 5 separate pages for our template now. So in our introduction here, this is where we're going to type maybe what our objective is. We're going to talk about why we're doing this, key terms, vocabulary, maybe even the standard that we're trying to address. And so once again, I'm going to click on that edit button, and that takes me to the editor. I can click in here and I can just start typing. Put objectives, goals, reasons, and motivation for learning about this topic here. And so we can put that text in there. We can certainly change the fonts if we want to. We can change the background color. We can change the actual color of the text if we choose to do that. We can insert videos here. So that's very easy to do. We can just click Insert, and we can come over here and pull something out of our Google Drive or pull something out of YouTube. So it's very easy for us to insert links and videos. Matter of fact, I'll show you how that looks. And you can do this for every page. So what we're going to do is maybe down here we want to put in the Google Forms video. And so let's see, insert YouTube, and it needs the URL. So probably the best way to do that is if I click on YouTube, and let's say we go to, we're going to go to my page, and creating artifacts submissions using Google Forms. So I'm going to right click on that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and start it. It's easier. Now I'm going to right click on that, get video URL. I'm going to right click in there, click copy, turn that off so it doesn't bother you. We're going to go back to our website. We're going to right click and paste, and then what you're going to see is it'll put the video in there, but it's grayed out right this second. I'm going to center that, and I'm going to click save, and then you will see that video embedded right there in our web page. So that's it. You can put a video in that simple. You go back to the editor, graze it out again, and you can insert links, like a hot link to another web page if you wanted to. We could also insert Google Forms. It's very easy to do. I'll show you that real quick. Click on Form, and it's looking for all our forms. We're going to use this artifact submission form. We'll click Select, and this is just asking us how big, how wide. We're going to click Save. Again, it's grayed out because we haven't clicked Save yet. And there's our form that is now embedded into our website so that teachers can actually use the form and collect information. And this way, we use this particular form. We showed you earlier how to make it. We use this particular form to collect data as proof and documentation that our teachers have completed a module. So that's a very, very quick synopsis of Google Sites, how to create pages, how to embed forms and videos. If you have any questions, you can always email me, dmartin@splendoraisd.org. Hope this helps.